All right. What up? My name is Rob. Welcome to the Daily Crawl. It is a Sunday afternoon. Been working on some wheels. I've got my island style mofo wheels. I've got the brass ones and the aluminum ones. I have already been assembling Boy, those look pretty sweet. This is my Furatech scythe. What you have there is a mofo ultra premium wheel. I got the silver wheel with the black hardware. That is the Lucky 12s ring, the black brass Lucky 12s ring on the outside. I then used the black UPWs I already had, so I kind of share the two styles. That way it's black on the outside here, and then on the inner wheel here is black as well, and the only bit of silver is on the inside to kind of accent the outside ring. And then there's my scale hub, my purple scale hub in the center. These are on the inner hub where the hex attaches. I have the 0 millimeter is what I went with. I run the mofo +4 CVDs in my inner axles. And then his patty weights are hanging out there. These are his steering knuckles. This is mofo's brass axle, mofo diff cover, mofo 30% overdrive in the front, mofo servo mount, Reeps 99 servo, mofo double barrel shocks, no springs on the front, mofo flex blades, permanently mounted into the down position. I run the RC Addiction steering linkage and suspension linkage. I have a mofo aluminum front axle on my rear, aluminum diff cover, his steering knuckles, no patty weight in the rear. I am going with, I haven't done that wheel yet. So that's what we changed from. I have one wheel left to complete. That is the old style, which I thought looked pretty darn cool. I really dug the way this wheel came together with its standard ring and the black ultra premium wheel with the silver hardware. And I've since switched it out for this black brass Lucky 12s outside ring with a silver ultra premium wheel in the center, and then black inner. Gosh, I think it looks pretty darn cool. I really think those wheels look pretty sharp. This is the Furatech scythe. It's my purple scythe. Tegu mainboard and the Avatar receiver transmitter. I think they work pretty well. I mean, a lot of people, I guess, don't like the smaller controller or think Furatech made a flimsy controller. I personally haven't had any problems with it. I'm easy. I've heard that joystick can be easy to break, so I don't apply a lot of pressure to it or try to break it. I don't want to break it or anything, so I don't. But neither here nor there. I like it. All the settings you got to do on the phone or right there on the controller. I like to go on hikes. I like to go crawling. I like to adjust things on the fly even sometimes. if I'm out in an area that I don't have service, I have the ability to control my throttle curve, the burst, whatever it may be that I need to control. Steering, that is a really big one, setting the endpoints here, there. Sometimes you go out, I do anyways, and I have my endpoints set usually fairly light. You know, I'm not steering as sharp as I can all the time. I don't like breaking parts. I'm not trying to break parts. Parts break, I still break them. Usually it's my fault from oversteering, but I like to turn up, you know, the steering, and you can do that on a controller. I mean, you can do that on any controller, but when you get into steering, you can also control how much throttle is given on the direction you're steering, and you can do that with the PureTech controller right there on the fly. You might need to be on the app for that, but you know, turning right or left, you can control whether or not you're given the opportunity to burst control, burst throttle. You know, fairly interesting, I found anyways, but I mean, I haven't done much of that, to be honest, but it's there. You can redo your drag brake, all those things. I mean, it's neat. I've updated the firmware. Gosh, it's been a little while since I've plugged in the Bluetooth module to update any of that stuff. I think whatever it was a few weeks ago, whatever firmware update that was, but I like it. Yeah, I like the remote. I've got no problem with it. But getting back, I got a little sidetracked there. Getting back, this is what I've done, is just taken the two pieces of an ultra premium wheel there, a black one and a silver one, and combined them. And this piece gets sandwiched between, so you can kind of see what that'll be right there to get your extra width for your heavy brass ring, which is pretty neat. And then in the rear tires, I've been doing the aluminum island style. So same thing, but you go aluminum. And then I have the aluminum 0mm, and I have the brass 0mm. I have the big heavy duty 6mm ones, which I think I'm going to throw on my Mini Z. I'm going to go ahead and build up a wheel with the spare parts left over from these wheels, and put some mofo wheels on my Mini Z, since I have the special adapter for that. And I want a little extra width on that Mini Z, so I figured I'd start here and see. I have my Micro Shark. Gosh darn it, it's my fault. I ordered the wrong DDPs, deep dish premiums. I meant to order the super DDPs because they're so far offset that they'll help hide the portal box on my Micro Shark. And since I really like this simple looking wheel, really like that simple looking wheel with the hub in the center, the DDP would be a little bit inset, but similar, very similar. And then a metal wheel. Not that I don't mind that 3D printed one, it's just, it scuffs up easy and that coating goes away. And I was just kind of after a metal wheel. That now that mofo has brass rings, the rear end of my Micro Shark is a plastic rear axle for mofo portals. And I'm going to throw these brass rings in the rear tires since it has such a tremendous front end weight bias. As you can see, I mean, holding holding it right in the center, it does tilt quite a bit forward. And that helps me climb hills, but it also is so light in the rear end that it doesn't go down the hills very well. And then my scythe was pretty well equally balanced when I held it in the center. And now with the extra weight on them wide island style wheels for these power hobbies, now I've got some more front end weight bias, and I'm really excited to see how well I can climb. But that's kind of what I've been up to. I ordered more mofo stuff. That's the only place I shop, really. I mean, tools, everything, whatever. You don't need a whole lot of tools for doing this, but mofo's the best, man. He's got so many options. I mean, look at these new rings here. These are some of my favorites. These are what's going to go on the Mini Z right there. I think that's going to look awesome. Either these silver ones, or I bought a set of the black brass ones as well. Where will that focus at? There, come on now. Focus, focus. Well, it doesn't want to focus. Bring it in, bring it out. Bring it in. Oh, well. Anyway, same kind of thing. It's almost like a Lucky 12, but a little different shape and not as many holes. I think they're pretty cool. Pretty rad. I was able to order up some new dual shock adapters. They're still the 3D printed, but I have brand new ones now. I even ordered more of these bars that he sells. I was able to get them all screwed together, Loctite it in, because my monster truck, I don't know how, but this thing always ends up like this when I do a wheelie, and I can pull the trigger and it'll spin 360s, and it's pretty rad. So I beefed up the back end so it has more room to just balance and pivot and spin. So I'm looking forward to running that. I'm gonna go ahead and buy a whole nother BAM 4100 motor with his race mount. I wanna email him before I buy it to see if he'll install the proper hardened steel pinion to go with the hardened steel spur gear I already have. And if there's, well, I guess I would be a whole different spur gear. Never mind. So, does that race combo come with a hardened spur and a hardened pinion? That is what I would love to know, because I want to put it in. I mean, I've kind of taken the training wheels off. This thing's fast. It does a wheelie right out of the gates when you hit the throttle. And I've got some weight on the front end too. I've got aluminum knuckles, aluminum steering linkage, and a lightweight brass diff cover. And then the rear end also has the same brass diff cover. I just kind of liked the diff cover. It's like a 5-gram black brass diff cover or something. But it is just a little front end weight bias with the servo and the servo horn and all that. And so, I mean, it doesn't immediately like flip over or anything. I mean, it'll do a wheelie and ride for a few feet and drop. But I want more speed, because I do not want to put my monster truck on 3S. I don't feel like changing out pinions and other gears often. I've already broke one CVD on my monster truck. That was a while ago. And I don't anticipate breaking any more, but it can happen. I bought a pack of them CVDs. I think I bought 3 or 4 pair of the +4, since I've got them on my scythe +4s and on the monster truck, the +4s. I figured I better have spares. I'm in this crawling and monster trucking at this scale. I'm in it for the long haul, you know, so I want to make sure I've got spare gears, spare inner axle pieces, all the things that wear out. Gonna get some more reef servos. I really like the reefs. I might try an NSDRC just to try it. I know it's faster and more powerful and all that, and that's cool. I'm all for that. So I probably will end up getting one. I've just kind of liked keeping the fleet here reefs, except for the monster truck. I went basically all mofo, except for these silver aluminum knuckles. Real excited about what's to come in the mail. I've got a pancake motor coming, mofo pancake motor, and I have a Nano Beast with the Albans motor mount coming, so that's going to be rad. I'm thinking about maybe putting the Nano Beast into the Bronco, which I have made some changes. I've been able to lower this Bronco. I mean, it's as low as it'll go, and there's the man. The hood is darn near riding on the frame rails, and I mean, I've got just enough clearance there without shaving anything. And then same with the rear without shaving anything. My kids abuse the crap out of this. Go ahead and talk a little bit about these BDX portal axles I got. I like them. They've been just as durable as any of the other axles that I have. I turned up the steering one night and broke a dog bone. And that's pretty standard. I have a reef servo, so I mean, if you turn the steering up, it's gonna hold that angle, and you'll break whatever. It didn't snap, it bent, which tells me that it's some pretty durable inner axles, because the aftermarket, more money inner axles, dog bones that I've purchased, the thicker steeled ones bend, they don't break. And the fact that these bent and didn't break means that they're probably the more durable kind. Now, with that being said, when I took everything apart to grease it, the differential and the portals and all that, there was a little grease in this differential, and there was hardly any in the portals. So if you get these, definitely take them apart and grease them up. The screws didn't appear to be like super Loctited in to where I snapped any screw off or anything. That did not happen to me. I did find and discover that the cup and dog bone fit really tight together. They basically snap into place. And what I've ran into while driving this rig, and my kids have, is that pin in the cup there seems to be so tight that it seems that when you turn, sometimes it has pulled the axle shaft out. And so I don't know if it's because of the brass differential gear that's in there, if that's just soft and it allows that to happen or not. I don't know. I'm going to Dremel out the slot in the cup so that pin can ride a little freer. Plus, I've ordered Mofo's 30% overdrive gears to go in both axles. This does appear to have the 25% gear reduction in it. And since it's my kids, I do like the Torque Beast. It's not over powerful with the 600 gram rig, and it doesn't seem to want to break things when they get in binds, but the speed isn't quite there. So speeding up the axles 30% should make this rig a lot more fun to walk down a trail and drive it. It was just a little slow, you know, it was just kind of dragging behind. And if we can make it 30% faster, gosh, it should be about a perfect walking speed and still be able to crawl. So I'm gonna show you what I've done under the hood here. I've been able to lower that ESC receiver tray right down there. I had a leftover mofo plate and just screwed it in, double back taped it on. As you can see, I guess that isn't quite as low as it goes. I could go down a whole nother notch, and I might, but then I run into maybe hitting the fender. So I don't know if I'm gonna do that or not. The battery does ride basically right below the top of the frame rails or the chassis rails. And then I've pulled and removed both bumpers and remounted the mounting system on the back there. I have it mounted there instead of on the bumper where it hinged, and it still functions, operates, and velcros down. I pulled off the roof rack. I haven't driven it yet. I just did all this, and hopefully it will be a new lower center of gravity than before, because that is basically how it rides right there. Kid put all the stickers on it. It's his rig. I told him he could only put the stickers on that this rig has. If it has some things from these places, then you can put the stickers on. The Power Hobby wheels. That sticker right here is the tires. It's mofoed out. BDX did not come with any stickers or anything. And then I believe I got the lizard. Well, I guess this doesn't have the lizard, so Sheikah Hobbies was just a hang loose sign I guess he threw on there, but I bought my lizard from Sheikah Hobbies that's in the monster truck. So I don't quite know where. Maybe I got the tires or something from Sheikah. I can't remember. Or the reef servo, I don't know. Something from here came from Sheikah Hobbies. So I'll have to dive in and refigure that out. But that's kind of our setup right now. Everything's still kicking. I still don't have a Lexan body rig. I've got two beautiful motors coming from Mofo, and I'm gonna need vehicles to put them in. One of them might be spoken for, maybe not. We'll see. Furatech's making a Tegu mainboard. For anybody that's followed my channel or been here from the beginning, I do not have a Lizard Pro. I have just a regular Lizard that was originally intended for the Mini Z, and now that Lizard went into the monster truck, which is perfect. I don't want a monster truck on 3S. I think I can gear it to the speed. So we'll go Lizard on that, but the Tegu main board in my Scythe and in the Micro Shark. Plus everything has the Avatar receiver. Now they're making a combination of a Tegu main board and the Avatar receiver. So that's exciting, and I'm all over that. It's like $99. You get your 3S capable electronic speed controller plus a receiver to go with that Avatar. Now, I'm not an RC guy. I mean, I am now, obviously, but Christmas, just this past Christmas, was the first RC car I ever got, and that was a Mini Z. And I love my Mini Z. Axial obviously has taken over the aftermarket, and it's a lot of fun to build these rigs. So I like the smaller controller, you know. I don't like the big old jumbo controller in your hand. I'm not a fan of that. I like the fact that Avatar controller breaks down into two pieces and you can pack it away tightly into a small pack. And having this all metal scythe here, I mean, I just strap it straight to the backpack and away I go, you know, and I'm not worried about, you know, damaging anything or whatever. I mean, I know with the Lexan body, everything's pretty well taken care of, but I mean, you can get to trimming them bodies, and you're just setting pieces of plastic on top of a chassis or frame and just driving your frame around at that point, you know. That's all right. I mean, it's kind of no different what I'm doing here with the scythe, you know, just driving a chassis around, although the shape of it is what sets it apart from just, you know, chassis rails with bits of Lexan on it, you know what I mean? And I'm trying to go for a comp crawler here. I might not have it in this scythe. I really like the way it looks, and looks are important to me, and I'll sacrifice some performance as long as it looks cool. I know that sounds silly, but I do like the way the wheels look and the shape of the wheels now. And if that hinders performance, which I doubt, I mean, I'm putting more weight up here. It's going to climb steeper. I hope its descents are still equally as good as they were. This extra width on the tires, I'm hoping gives us some extra grip. But it does weigh a lot. I like all these metal parts. And so this is my all metal scythe comp crawler. And if it weighs too much, it weighs too much. It's what I like. So, you know, you can do what you want to do, and I'm not trying to build the world's greatest competition crawler. I'm just trying to build something that might be able to hold its own, you know, if it was out there on the rocks with other guys. But with that being said, with these new motors I'm getting, I do want to build like the world's greatest competition crawler. And I've been doing some research on chassis and research on axles and research on shocks and suspension and angles and geometry, and definitely figuring it out. And so I'm definitely going to shoot for maybe a lighter weight rig than the Furatech, but you know, you never know. You build your rig and then you put the weight where it needs to make it perform better. And I've built my rig, and now I'm starting with these mofo wheels that he finally came out with some brass, which is awesome. Oh, it's so awesome. I can tune my scythe better so it will hit the rocks easier, if that makes any sense. So looking forward to finishing up this final wheel on the rear end here. Swapping out. I'm gonna miss the way this looks. I'm glad I've done this YouTube thing. I mean, it's basically, for me, this channel, you know, you guys are subscribing, and that is fantastic. That's so cool. I never would have even thought anybody was gonna subscribe. I don't edit my videos. I'm not, you know, trying to entertain, whatever. I'm just kind of, you know, talking my way through what I'm doing and what I'm learning, and it's not always right. I'm not an expert, whatever, you know. I'm having fun building these things. My kids are having fun with me driving these things, so it's completely worth it. And if you guys want to watch these videos and come along for the ride, that's cool. That's real cool. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. You could just whatever, you know, it's just whatever. Made this scale garage. My 3-year-old loves it. Oh man, he's always putting his toys in it. He loves it. He's been having a blast, and doing that with him has been a lot of fun. And that's why I keep building these things, you know. I started with just one, and he loved it so much, and now I've got a variety here. I've got a comp style crawler. My son wanted this for his birthday, and he got a beautiful looking Bronco. Bronco sucks stock. Oh my God, it is awful. It is just as awful as a stock Mini Z, period. But with some upgrades, capable. Got a LCG chassis, the works, more clearance. Now you can go have some fun, you know, it just needs to be a little faster, hence the 30% overdrive. Monster truck was just too cool to not build one. If you haven't built an all-out monster truck, whether it's mofo or the other guy's chassis, you know, go out and do it. It's really neat to shop around for a faster KV motor and put different gears in it and see how the same platform and all the variety of speeds you can do. And I mean, I really wanted, this was the first build I did, was this Micro Shark, and I really wanted something I could be proud of, you know, I guess. I had to paint this and screw it all together and do all those things. I mean, look at the size of those screws. They are a 0mm Phillips headed screw to hold the panels on, so it's a scale model in my opinion, and I enjoy driving it on the rocks. I do not enjoy seeing it slip off a rock and roll over. Like any car, I mean, it happens. Totally happens. That was why I built the scythe, was I could give a shit if this rolls over. I mean, it's already got a cracked lid there, and I'm planning on somehow trying to figure out maybe how to build something for it, you know. We'll see who makes it to the end of my video, but I did get the mofo shock mounting thing, so I might build a something and then put some of those bars across it, you know. And then I originally wanted kind of a shock setup like you'd find on a Warthog with its, you know, horizontal shocks. So there I've got some more mounting. I could bring that shock down and we could see if that does anything for me or what. But I have those in my arsenal now. Looking forward to things to come. Drove this car a little bit last night, and it tumbles, you know. It doesn't tumble all the time, but shoot, when you're trying to do some crazy lines, you know, you're bound to slip and fall and roll over. And that 3D printed deal was never going to last. So I run it for a couple battery packs and then usually have to glue it back together. But that's my battle wound scar there, you know. And rather than buy another one and just break that one, I just keep gluing this one. It's okay. And then the lid, you know, it's a tight fit, and its little doodad broke off there. I was a little bummed out, but nah, whatever, it happens. The lid isn't always closed all the time anyways. I got a lot of stuff packed in there. Transmission, motor mount, motor, receiver, ESC, all the wires. Like it's a wreck underneath the hood there. But worth it, you know. Flex blades on the rear, mounted in the up position. Worth it. Gosh, those wheels look cool. But that's kind of what I've been up to this week. Might make a video today, but definitely make one tomorrow. Micro Shark Monday, just around the corner. But anyways, thanks for tuning in, hanging out for a little bit. Stay tuned for tomorrow, you know, Micro Shark Monday. But if you haven't gotten some mofo wheels, definitely hit up Mofo RC and get yourself some of these island style wheels. I haven't ran them yet, but it looks like a no-brainer, guys. It is just solid. It feels solid all the way. I mean, these tires keep getting bigger and bigger. I mean, I can't tell if the sidewall's any better or not. It's about the same, but the rocks will tell. So I mean, these miniature differences, yeah, you might need some bigger foams. I still have the stock tire foams that came with these Power Hobbies, these Trail Warriors. So I mean, maybe getting those aftermarket foams is the way to go when you do the island style. Maybe. I'll have to get some. Time will tell, but I mean, you know, nobody gives me this stuff for free. I'm out here buying what I want, and if it works, I'm putting it on my car, but I don't like wasting my money, so I like to research what I'm getting a little bit before I just buy it. So anyways, that's the scythe. We'll be running it later today and tomorrow, so stay tuned. Again, my name's Rob, and welcome to the Daily Crawl, and peace until the next time.